Hello guys, welcome. Let's just see. Hello. How are you doing? Rob, hello, and Terrific Life. Hello. And Robert, hello. Hattrick Maniacs, welcome. Right. Did you guys see the new Hattrick Tools video I made yesterday? Perhaps you did. Kind of a new updated take on the whole thing. And yeah, they were just talking the best tools in general for Hattrick, not just the essential tools. And yeah, what kind of tools do you use? Nope, I will see it after work. All right. Well, I hope you will. Basically, the original, I tried to replace the original video which had a lot of different tools, but at that time I was just kind of guessing because those were the tools I remembered from the last time playing. And while reading up, I only use Foxtrick and Rate My Academy. Foxtrick Yeah, obviously, and that's essential. You guys don't use the youth club? Of course you do. Oh, actually, I should... So now... Why can't I remember the... Oh, that's because I... Like the fourth from the video... I mean, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter if I spoil this, because you are here now anyway. But the HT Cycle Planner, I like this one very much. If you want to know why, you could definitely watch the video, of course. But yeah, there's a good reason to use the HT Cycle Planner, even though you have access to the supporter tool. Freshman Frozen. Hvad går det der Youth Club ud på? Det and sorry for the guys in English, but we'll just do this in Danish. Youth Club. Det er simpelthen en måde, hvor du automatisk kan indsamle alle data om dine ungdomsspillere. For eksempel, hvis jeg går til Interkalvehave, du kan se Roberto Mozzarella her, så holder den styr på, hvor meget sublevel han har i scoring her. If I am to translate here, Freshman Frozen was asking, what is Youth Club about? And it's about gathering all the data. And once you've signed up, you just have to press this. Hvis du så har Youth Club og Foxtrick samtidig, så her, går jeg ind, og vi kan lige se Mozzarella her har 6,7 i scoring. Hvis jeg så går tilbage på min spillerside for akademiet og finder Mozzarella her, så kan du se, så har han, og det kan godt være, at jeg nok ikke kan se min mouse over her, men så kommer der sådan en rød bar på her, der viser, hvor meget han har fået træning her, hvis man konfigurerer det fuldt ud. Alright, sorry about that. That was just a quick answer in Danish here. But a good way to keep all your information about your youth players. And you can do so automatically. And with Foxtrick, it'll automatically, like if I swap my training here in my youth team, if I chose something else, it would say training change was successfully sent to Hattrick Youth Club. Another very nice thing, if you look at the under team and calendar, like you get all of this information. Like when can you actually pull a player? When does he have a birthday? When do you play a game? When can you arrange a new friendly? And it also does this in accordance with the senior season as well. Quite nice. Not quite free if you want to synchronize and gather your data for 3 teams like I do, or perhaps even 4. But I think it's free for the first 2 teams in Hattrick. You guys ever use stadium tools? Like for instance, this one. The cool thing is you can basically allow, and you can read the size of your fan club. But if you know that it's, let's just say it's 1,000, right? I'll set it like this, and then you could say, okay, I know that it'll be content fan mood. Just delirious, for instance. Then I can choose, and then... Well, actually, this isn't a good example, because it would tell me to... I have a 100,000 seater stadium and never get full audience. Well, how big is your fan club? Hattrick Youth Club, it's an enigma. I need to stay on it a while to understand it properly and use it at 100%, I think you want to say, right? Robert, how many fans do you have? Because a 100,000 seater stadium is like max level if you're top flight. The important thing is, even though go to bed. Hey Roy, why don't you go to bed? Oh, you have 2813 fans. What level do you play in, Robert? You play in the 2nd division? I mean, 100,000 spectators, that's end of the season. Anyway, let me just try to adjust this to like level 4. Oh. In Poland. Poland is a big hat-trick country though. If I set this to 2200 fans, you could see that I would have to improve my my seats here. Like 20k terraces. Thing is, I really like this tool, but there's an alternative. There's also Allergy Romania, I think it's called. And maybe not. Oh, here it is. See, the arena calculator. And you could also just do this with the CHPP tools. And it would say build 30,000 seats if you have the starter version with AK bleachers and no VIP seats. And this is also adjustable. There's a lot of good tools in this collection, by the way. Like the Team Spirit Organizer. You select the leadership level of your coach. Could be passable. And I'm not entirely sure how you would adjust this if you have the sports psychiatrist hired in your staff. But I guess like the level 5 is half a level. I don't know. It doesn't take this into consideration, but you still get an idea if you say you would play it cool in the first round. Obviously, it wouldn't be able to go higher than content 6, but it would drop again. So by the time you play the league match, basically you don't see a difference here. But really, we have no idea how the sports psychiatrist is it the psychiatrist even? What's he called? Psychologist. Oh, you better not mess up your terms here. If we play it cool again, you could see would be at satisfied. Play it cool again. The increase gets bigger, obviously, because we have to multiply by 1 1/3. And the next time it would be Paradise on Earth. And I guess you guys know for sure that that's the maximum on a club team, right? This isn't a very likely scenario, but you would have to pick every time in order to keep it above 8. Really. Anyway, that's just one of the good tools in this collection. Hattrick Romania tools. HT. Oh, you have to. Find your best captain. I guess this is kind of inbuilt in the lineup tool in Hattrick nowadays, but Academy projects, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, the arena calculator here. I showed you guys this one. And you can also look at the income. Match at home. See, it was a league cup. We could drive it with Intercalbehel. And the details we have here, 2040. Obviously, I could just do this automatically, but just adding read it from the CHPP tools, but yeah, I'll just do it manually this time. So, how many of you guys got had to do some arrangements? Hey, McCulloch, I'm doing well. Feeling a lot better now. Very nice to be back upright. Oh, obviously this is perhaps a little inflated. My fans are dancing in the street. Submit, and you'd see. Oh, you would be able to. Partially cloudy would be the best solution for us. We would take home 420,000 euros next match. But we will not, because Charnes Launcher will most likely help our fan mood deteriorate a little. If I am to be completely honest about that match. Alright. You guys use any kind of simulators ever? I mean, in case you didn't know, and it will be in an upcoming video for sure. It's not an essential tool, but if you look at Nicarana, I'm sure you've heard his name before. He's the stats master of the HT Masters, and he's got a project here where you can check see a match ID. I could try running the simulator on. Let's just for the hell of it, last season's game against Charnes Launcher. Not particularly funny. I don't use many tools, sadly. I try to do my own research as I enjoy it. I totally get that idea, but some of the things, like, I don't know if you've seen this tool before. I'll try to calculate it now. It'll take a little while because it's running something. All I'm saying is with this tool, it's just about expected goals. If you look at it, it's all right. We lost 6 goals to nothing here. Oh, I'll show you something else in a minute then. because this is nothing. This is in retrospect. Like looking at your match in retrospect, right? And the chance breakdown, and yeah, even using this like to analyze your matches could be well, let's just say it's next level, definitely. But wait, there's more. There's more. I have to set up a window for another application. I'll just open it in the background because you can download. Let me see where I put it. Where did I put it? There's more. I'm telling you, there's more. Okay, let's just go back to this one about the best simulator. Because if you look at this, so okay, here it is, the raw version. It's better. Alright, just pretend you didn't see that. So alright. Oh, I got it right here. Here we go. So I'll just have to add it to the actual screen here. How do I do this in the best possible way? To hell with it. Add window capture. There we go. Let's just. Okay. Now, what you can do here is now you can, like, if you have any idea how your wait, just one sec. Okay, that's better. Right, if you have an idea what your opponent ratings will be for an upcoming match, you can put them in here, these fields. And if I actually made a video about this tool itself. Yeah, the thing is, you can use this, and now you can. That's one bit, right? This is the ratings. You just set this to 10, and you can add the indirect free kicks and everything. But on top of that, if you have an idea of what kind of specialties your opponent is going to load in as well, you can change them by the drop down. So would it be a quick wing back here, or a header, and then you get all of this extra things about how many chances would you expect to get from quick events, how do you counter them, and all sorts of stuff. So if you like statistics, I mean, this will give you more to work with. At the moment, I'm not really using it for every match because I'm just in a building phase. But when we are looking to win the league or optimizing, going towards the top. I mean, why not? Look at it, all of this. Right, let me just see Terrific Live. I tried this game long ago, but because back in the day there weren't any guides, I found it pretty hard to understand the end game, how to make a plan and not to get broke, etc. Are you playing now, Terrific? So this is just like taking a plummet in the deep end of statistics, and like there's a hey Serena, I'm personally doing better than the other days because I'm feeling well again, which is very nice. And right now we're just exploring Nicarana's simulator Excel sheet and how to deep dive in your statistics game, leveling up your like when you're playing for the last few percentages of getting that extra point, that extra goal. But if I do get that this might be just a little over the top for the average user perhaps, but fortunately there's a lightweight version of this tool as well, and definitely also a tool that I'll be. Hope you're doing well as well on this nice Wednesday evening. We did get through the friendly matches without injuries, but no spoilers for the Let's Play. The Let's Play episode later. If we look at a game, for instance, let me just swap to my third team here. If we look at today's friendly, you'll see, let me just have the match page load. You can see DHTH simulator, and it will say that my team, the away team, should be winning 65 times, but it's based on 0.44 expected goals for the away team and 0.4 0.4 expected goals for the home team, so it's a close scoring encounter. The idea here in this game is actually to get to extra time to get extra training. But if you look at this is this tool, DHGH, Danny's Hattrick Helper. You also have a simulator here where you can do like this, and this one you can also adjust more things, but not all that super positional specialty lineup thing here. I'm not playing right now, but I would like to start. However, I find it pretty hard to get into. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be able to mentor you in the official capacity within the mentor system in Hattrick, because my current account isn't old enough actually, because I swapped my email. But if you sign up for Hattrick, you can feel free to ask me about absolutely anything, and I'll help you to the best of my ability. I've done so with a few others already. It seems to be going all okay. Maybe if we had a community Discord where I could find some friends with whom I could speak and share ideas. Give me a minute. I'll show you something. I have a server. Boom, 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 boom. So if you would like to join, feel free. Right there. It seems like you have. Anyway, there's a... well, I wouldn't want to call it my Discord server because I'm trying to dedicate it to more like an actual community. Anyway, if we look at Danny's Hattrick helper here, it's actually like Danny's Hattrick helper. We try to configure it. Oh yeah. Terrific. If you join the Discord server, I'm sure you'll be able to find me. See you guys popping in now. Just hit me up and we'll have a chat about how we can approach creating a new Hattrick account, and or perhaps reusing your old one. Surely. Yeah, I'll help you. That'll be fun. Anyway, let's just take a quick look at how the simulator works here, because at this point everything is just 10. What's the 10th denominator in English? I always forget it. 11 is brilliant, 9 is formidable, 8 excellent, 7 solid, but number 10, I always forget it. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, we're just doing like this, and obviously this is in German, so let's just swap it up to English and we'll calculate 10,000 matches here. Oh, I forgot. Outstanding? Isn't that 12? I have to learn the English ones. Help. Manual. Denominations. Outstanding? Oh, outstanding is 10. And magnificent is 12. Alright, you learn something new every day. Anyway, back to the simulator then. Let's calculate 10,000 matches. Here we see. So the away team would... it's calculating in regards to a home win here. And you'll see... Oh, so this is a quick simulation. And this is a real simulation. And you can see like the general statistics. Also, if you believe that your PNF is a little stronger, you can actually toggle if you play a PDM or if you play a PNF, right? Or a technical defensive bloke. You could also do some adjustments if your average stamina isn't all the way up to the top. You could add a tactic. Sort of a lightweight version of what we just saw. Simulate pullbacks. Simulate that it's a cup match. That's because in a cup match you would only have the stamina, no, sorry, the experience event for the least experienced team would lose some ratings, most likely. Anyway, you do get more statistics to dive into if you want that, of course. Chances to press away, chance with your PDIM, and like this is the actual probabilities of the different results. There's a lot of stuff here, but if I recall correctly, you could, oh yeah, for instance, if you know that your PNF is just out of this world, you could boost him to 7% instead of 5, which is the vanilla setting right here. If you have a very strong PDIM, you could also just see it gets an 8%, but you could also adjust it to 9 according, like if you have an idea that your PDIM is strong compared to the opposition. Plus you can do a lot of stuff that I basically, if I'm completely honest here, I haven't really dwelled that much into yet, because my team right now is not at the point where we have to go this much into detail. Anyway, those are kind of cool, and those will most definitely be part of a future tools video. I want to be active. For me, being active means playing in the league and cup. What would be the best training position? I was thinking maybe goalkeeper, because this way I can have a better team from the start. What do I think? I think now I don't have any idea what country you're playing in. So the ambition of playing in both the league and the cup, the ambition to play in both the league and the cup might be a little far away depending on the country. And even so, if you're playing in the new country, there won't be a lot of teams playing, so it'll be over quite fast, really. Goalkeeper training is a good way to start if you are okay, starting in Italy. I'll have to say that playing in the, like regularly in the cup is not, well, they do actually, how many divisions do we have in Italy? Well, yeah, kind of hard mode. Yeah, 5 years you have a shot at the cup. True, but you do have a secondary cup, not the consolation cups, but the 5 real years. How many? How do I actually see this easily? Anyway, initially you don't think about this because, okay, you're speaking about the lower cups. Anyway, initially, even, why don't I just go to the, okay, so they have level 8. Yeah, I was overthinking it. Obviously, there's even a level 8 here. Okay. Yeah, so you could play in the, what's it called? The Coppa Italia level 8 series round. How many teams participate in this? There's 12 rounds. Okay, honestly, you have a good shot at getting some activity in a good league fairly early on. But initially, you would always want to, I like to call maturing your club a bit. And as Nada said, goalkeeper training is a good option if you want flexibility with your formations. I'm actually of the opinion that if you have a mentor and if you look at this statistic, the training statistic, like if you look at the main skill training types, you have defending, you have scoring, you have winger, you have playmaking, and you have keeper. All I'm saying is, if we acknowledge the fact that you need to make a decent amount of money in the beginning in order to give you the freedom to grow your club in whatever, not whatever way you want, but if you wanted to do some nice trading and trading your way to the top, for instance, you need some money, right? Look at the amount of players training winger. I've said this many times before, 7%. That's less than the ones training keepers. So if you want a steady start where you don't have to trade a lot, and you don't have to trade a lot in order to make a small profit, because initially if you build like that, you'll have to do a lot of trades to get settled in, and then you can start looking at increasing your profit on each trade. But initially you don't have a lot of money. If I show you my players in my secondary Danish team, I've trained this guy for 2 seasons now. And if I look at his transfer for instance, I bought him for 123,000 euros, obviously. I don't know why that was so hard to calculate. But I've trained him for 2 seasons, and now his transfer compare is 3.4 million euros. He's about to pop to... he's not, but... And, oh, wait a second. I have to edit this because he's quick, so I have to use the same specialty. Now you'll see something. What? Okay, that's kind of low, but if you... His age is low as well. Anyway. For some reason his compare is... it could be better, I'll be honest. I'm a little surprised by this, but I'll find my other... no, I'll just give me a sec, Terrific. I'll show you something real fast. Oh god, I'm about to cough again. This is Maliki. He's not quite... Tashi. Okay, so Tashi is a head specialist, but he's supernatural. Trained for 2 seasons. Look at his transfer compare. Also 30 million. But... okay, I'll have to... I can't set it like that. But anyway, let me do a search here for a winger. At least. Let's say extraterrestrial. 20 years old. And we'll just set this to the lower end of the 20th year. Like this. Quick, unpredictable, and headers. Now this would mean... like... almost a season's worth of training more, but why don't I find anyone? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, we'll just do something else. Just say 20, 21 year, up to mythical. In fact, let's just set it at mythical, magical. Okay, so right now, oh, I get this. This is because we're playing friendlies at the moment, and we had a breakdown. Right now, yeah, of course, we had a breakdown. So no one could actually be posting players. Ah, yeah, okay. But if you look at the transfer compare for this, like such a player, mythical, he's been trained for just under 4 seasons. Now we're talking 10 million. The thing is, training wingers like this, you only have to train them in winger. You don't have to train anything else. You can do this only training winger. You get a lot of flexibility for tactics, right? You could play 2-5-3, you could play 3-5-2, and while getting players trained easily, because it's very easy to manage 4 main trainees at the wing. You also get to build in time. You get to play you get to build pretty good side attacks as well. And let's be honest, it might not win championships, but it sells tickets, right? Oh, I have to answer this. Anyway, that's an alternative to goalkeeper training. You can do something similar, but okay, you only have to train 2 players. I had to cut that short in San Marino. I think you can still see. Sorry about that. Okay. But we could compare. Like, what could you? Let's try applying the HD cycle tool, and let's just reset this and say a keeper. Let's just imagine we buy him at the age of 17. We're a newly started team, so he'll be 50 days. We'll find a solid keeper because we only need 2 trainees, right? And he'll have some value here. This isn't all that important. It's just to look at keeper training. We'll train him for 3 seasons. Is that too much? 3 seasons. Solid coach. Friday training. I'll set this to the Danish time, which is it doesn't matter. And we'll train him. Okay, 3 seasons worth of training. He would be 20 years old. and he would be almost mythical. Almost mythical. Okay. Extraterrestrial. We just set him to 20 years old. Clear these. Okay, that's decent. Oh, this guy is also an adequate defender and has set pieces. Okay, maybe this is more. Okay, so actually we are around 6 million euros. Okay, let's just compare that. Let's just say 6 million euros. One more question. If I start trading, and of course I will not have a good coach, but you'll get that pretty soon. Will that make my player train slower? A little slower. I think it's 8% per level. And then roughly 5% if you talk excellent compared to the started coach. When I try to sell players, will people still try them to keep training them? They will. Everyone tries to buy players at 17 years old. And if my player is 21 idly, for a good player, they should be 20. No. You'll get that sorted easily, because if you are just a little patient, you'll be able to buy. You'll be able to get all of your trainees for the starting money. Let's just try to swap this out. The only thing we need to know is we have a winger instead, and it's perfectly fine to find a passable winger. Let's just see what we can do with 3 seasons worth of winger training. We get extraterrestrial winger, 20 years old. See if they even. Okay, so let's just compare the numbers. There's a bid up for this guy, right? Let's see his compare. 6, okay, just below the keeper, but right, the same amount of training. Now we have at least 4 players worth the same amount of money. Yeah, but initially you have to. Yeah, but you would only find quick, unpredictable, or headers. The headers I've been selling, the header winger trainees that I've sold have sold for more than quick and unpredictable. So I have to say that. You can also buy headers. It's perfectly fine. Welcome, Raul Chorus. My point is, if you acknowledge the fact that initially just try to make some money, make some good money, winger will earn you more than double. If you have the patience to train the first 3 seasons, you'll earn more than double choosing winger over goalkeepers. And you will be generating side attacks while you do so. That's just my opinion. Being spammed here. Sorry. And I'll show you. Let me just go to my Danish team and show you the 4 main wingers I did this with initially back in the history. Okay, so this is Sven Arne Magnusson, right? I bought him. This was the most expensive guy, and this was because he was quick. You have to factor this in. I bought him for 200,000 euros. I overpaid, and honestly, I overpaid for the quick specialty when he was 17. So I trained him for 2 seasons. Sold him at level 14. That would be... I can't remember. But I sold him for 4 million euros, 3.9. That was a quick one. Let's go back to the history. Let's find the next winger. Here is the header, Chico Wienesen. He was cheaper initially. 1.2 million Danish. That's 123,000 euros. I sold him for 4.3. The header. And these guys are easily sold because people know that this is perhaps the most sought after 21-year-old mono-skilled youngster. So we had Sven Arne Magnusson, we have Chico Wienesen. Let's see who else. Kenny Cordina. Oh, would you look at that? I bought him for 41,000 euro. Head specialist. Okay, I know, I sold him. He was the least talented of the guys. By the way, 3.8 million euros. Turns out this guy was good enough to... Now he's a prospect, right? Right, for the national team under 21s. He's already played 6 games. Perhaps I can even get some more previous club money for Kenny Cordina as well. 41,000 euros. I'm just saying, if you're worried about not getting good trainees with the starting money, it's really not a worry. If you just, if you're patient enough. If you're patient enough, it'll all be perfect. The final guy. Okay. He was unpredictable. But the fact of the matter is I paid 7,000 euros for him. Oh, would you look at that? I didn't even notice. He's a prospect for the under 21s Danish national team now. I only sold him for 35 million, but look at this, his initial price. Oh, I remember now why he sold so cheap. It was because I bought him on New Year's Eve. In the small leagues? No. Denmark is not a big league, but it's a fairly competitive league, I should say. You should start in Italy. It will be perfectly fine. And you have to start in your native country. Any GMs in the chat? Anyway, the reason why I didn't continuously train these guys beyond the level 14 was, I mean, I have to show you guys then, just for the context. Some of you guys have seen these players before, but this is my main man in my cycle. Yeah, you have to play in your native country. That's one of the rules. What country would that be? Is that a problem? Unless if you're Australian. I mean, does it matter really? Anyway, Rico came through the youth department, and I had to start my cycle, even though I would have liked to have more money before starting. But I have to believe in my abilities of making enough money. He's quite good. It's been 4 weeks since he popped the last time in defense, so he's about, well, 3 weeks away or so. And that's my first homegrown player. Then we have René Lisau. Hitter. And a bit younger, obviously. But I had to start at this point. Yeah. Same story in San Marino. If you haven't seen Mr. Zanotti still, and now we had to Romania. Well, honestly, the good thing about starting in the teams, like in the, you could also, like if you want to start against a few bots in order to build your fan club fast, you can always swap series to an almost empty one. The only way you can play in another country if you open a secondary team, but honestly, playing in Romania is it's actually not a bad shout, because you also, like, Romania has a lot of dedicated players that making quality players for when you actually have to, like, if you would want to factor in having native players, domestic players, in order to keep the wage expenditure down, really. So it goes both ways. If you're playing in a small country, the pool of domestic players is even smaller, and they would be more expensive because more people are competing. And I would assume a higher percentage of the players would be playing competitively of all players. So I mean, I don't even see that as a hindrance. And no question, you should just get started. Anyway, I had to start after 14 weeks again, because Zanotti here will be the club legend. So yeah. Anyway, tools. We're actually talking about tools, and we did put the cycle planner to use in this case. So obviously, if you didn't see the video, big recommendation for sessions. Very cool tool. Hattrick Organizer. I don't know if I want to install that and show that right now, but I would probably have that be a part of an upcoming video as well. Let me just check my notes about what I thought about already for nice tools video. HG Organizer, Arena Tools, Danny's Hattrick Simulator, Nicarana's simulator sheet. Hattrick Organizer isn't that useful anymore, is it? I mean, it has a few decent things, and I know some people like the old school ways, because Hattrick is kind of old school, so they like the idea that you download the Hattrick resource file and you store it on your machine. And because of the segment of the people playing Hattrick, I think I would want to include it as a perhaps as a legacy tool, right? Is it better to wait for the youth team to open, or is it better to just start from the beginning? I would say if you have the option to find, like, if you have to spend top tier money, no, not top tier money, if you have to spend all of your initial funds setting up with a solid coach, decent assistant coaches, and I'm saying initially, for if you started out with winger training, just getting the 4 main trainees, and you'll have a perfect setup. But if you spent the money setting that up and you are a bit short on cash, but you have that settled, just wait a few weeks before you start your academy. If you go a little more easy, on your training setup and you don't spend all the money, you could open up your academy still. The thing that's, I would say, annoying for newly started players, and a thing that probably is a little disheartening if you look at new players coming into Hattrick and what's actually an issue of when people come in, they open the academy and then they learn, oh, you'll have to wait an entire season before you can pull the first player, who, by the way, most likely won't be very talented. What I'm saying is, it's kind of a blow to the face. Oh, Hattrick seems cool. Yeah, you'll have to wait. I was talking to Mau in my podcast. Momo for the win. And we're talking about most new players starting Hattrick. They probably expect something entirely different. But yeah, so you have that latency of a season. So obviously, as soon as you have the money after settling your senior training setup, you should look to at least get one coach. And I know, excuse me, I know that I feel a little filthy for saying so, but this guy I pulled with only one scout, and he sold actually for 10 million euros when I promoted him, and he was adjusted to 7 million euros. But also one of the reasons why I just felt like starting with my Danish team, even though I didn't really accumulate as much money as I'd hoped. I think I accumulated like 230 million kroner, so 23 million before starting. I think you should be able to buy a solid coach, like if not the first week, then after your first league match, hopefully. Yeah, I have to get something to drink. My voice is getting a little rusty from talking a lot. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Solid coach plus 2 level 5 training assistants plus a level 5 doctor is 100% doable in the first 2-3 weeks. Yeah, I agree, Raul Cordes, and also, yeah, it's perfectly fine to just wait a week or two with the academy setup if you have the senior setup. The senior training setup is what is going to drive your club. The most important, I'll give you an example. We'll do some live mentoring here. Let's just reset all the search filters, because this does not have to be a secret at all. Let's just say, if you avoid 17 and 17 years and 3 days players, perhaps you can do quite well here. So I just do passable winger, and I lock it at passable winger here. And instead of doing anything else but quick, unpredictable, and headers, The thing I do here is I set at least 950 TSI, and I'm fairly certain that you should see some pretty decent players come up now. Okay, he's a glorious talent here. 1150. You can definitely tell why he would be almost all of the starting money. Okay, so let's have a look at this guy instead. 980. Okay, so he's an adequate playmaking, passable winger, passable passing. This kind of guy. 22,500 euros. Maybe he'll go for a little higher, but he should be by, like, if you can get one player like that. Let's just redo the search here. If you can get one player for like 50,000 euros, and perhaps this guy. Let's just say the first week you only buy the two first players. You've spent 100,000 euros, approximately. Now you don't hire the new coach before you have the 4 main slot, the 100% speed trainees. But look at the prices here. I mean, did we listen to all of the music in the playlist? But how? Oh. Could you sort it in some other way? Okay, now we have something running in the background. I mean, some of these will be completely out of reach. 13 million. Okay, he has 2k TSI almost. Hunting for bargains in the transfer market is super fun as well. Yeah, it really is. And if you find players for like 50,000 euros, the first two. Oh yeah, but if you look at the compares, it would be like look at the transfer compare. You could be lucky and get them at a good price. The thing is, if you get the first two kind of cheap, and there's no reason to stress or panic about it, but if you get the first two kind of cheap, you do have some more room to go a little higher if you find someone who looks just extraordinarily good. Like you could go for a little higher asking price if that's the case, but honestly, I'm just scrolling. It's a pretty simple search filter here. You'll see some go quite high. You'll see some. There's 20 options here, and yeah, I mean, there's definitely options. And if you buy two initial trainees the first week, you just train them with the passable trainer, and you get an offset by 1 week. You won't be able to tell the difference after 3 seasons almost. Won't matter. So it's more important being patient and not overpaying for the first few prospects. Then once you like if you get the 4 main trainees, you set up the academy, 1 perhaps 2 scouts, depending on your initial your initial income. Then you try to find some secondary wing trainees. What I did actually was just setting basically the same filter I just did now, and just waiting until I could find the very cheapest ones. So if I could find someone who I could buy for like 20,000 euros, And one of my biggest concerns with starting a new team is stadium size and when is the best time to resize. Here's another thing. You almost immediately want to add some VIP seats, because the fans regard your stadium as 4 different stadiums. They don't move. They're not smart in any way. So if they can't get a ticket, they'll just, okay, I'm going home. They don't care. So you are missing out on the best tickets initially. And the idea is to improve that section of your stadium quite fast. What's so funny? I mean, a Hattrick fan would book a plane and a hotel room in a city in another country, fly down there just to learn that the section they wanted to see was sold out. And they would just take the plane and go home. Waste the carbon footprint as well. And destroy our Earth. They wouldn't move to another section or pay for more expensive ticket. They would go straight to the airport. But they are. That's how the system works in Hattrick. They don't move to another section. That's why initially, when you don't have any VIP seats, you're losing a lot of money, and the only thing you have to buy like 100 seats. The thing is, back in the day, it used to be 70,000 euros. I was about to say, just thinking about doing an expansion, right? Nowadays it's only 10. So it's much better to just plan out small expansions, because this way you can also avoid paying for the upkeep, the maintenance of all the seats if you don't use them. This is only relevant like initially as you grow your club. Terrific. Did you sign up already, or? Do you need a link? Nah, I'm just joking. I would just like I don't know if like I have had a few users use my referral link, and they don't log in. They stop logging in so fast. It's rustier. Logged in twice 2 weeks ago. So sad. Like the first guy who ever used a referral link from my referral link, I was just like, oh, welcome, let me know if you need help with anything. And he was like, yeah, I'm just trying this. And 7 weeks later, When do you want to upgrade your team, and how do you search for players? Because if you want to watch the history of matches due to loyalty, he'll do way better. Do you normally deduct 1 star? Like, the cool thing is, if you have Foxtrick installed, see this guy I bought in he's halfway to loyalty. Okay, you'll see this guy, he's homegrown, so this is the starting players, right? And he gets 1.5 on top of it. So if you think about your starting players, and they are the best, should be solid in the main skill, perhaps excellent. It's more than 1 star because it's every skill. I'd say 2 stars. Actually, I can give you an example like this. I just added a goalkeeper to my Danish squad to train in defense. And obviously he was swapped in the final minute of the match. But if you look at his skills, he's Titanic in goalkeeping, poor in defending, and he has level 1 loyalty, right? This guy, okay, he's Ingvarsson, he's passable defending. I can deactivate the loyalty bonus. Oh yeah, but the thing is, he's only 3 levels high in defending. I don't know. It'll take a good while before you can actually, in a meaningful way, replace your starting players. And even if you could get a player which competitively would be better, he would most definitely be a waste of money initially. How do I deactivate the loyalty bonus? And what and for what system do I deactivate it? For the I'm currently mentoring a friend from work and he's super energetic about the game. Hopefully he'll remain the same for a long time. It's such a funny experience to mentor the energetic players. Oh yeah, okay, I'm oh, right here. Yeah, okay. How old is too old? Basically, when they don't have any stamina at all. But at least experience, loyalty. Okay, we can just check it out here. So we'll just compare the goalkeeper. Klaus Wiegand. If we look at his loyalty and his 10.22 contribution, Foxtrick. Let's just compare to Kolmar Ingvarsson. But that's because of the defense, right? So I remove 0.4 here for Kolmar. That's not the player in question. Oh, but he basically doesn't have any loyalty yet, because he only has Richard. My honest opinion about adding older players, you shouldn't do that for at least a season anyway. I know, I understand why you would want to, because it feels good to win. But initially, especially right at the beginning, making the money is the main concern, because yeah, it's about avoiding throwing your precious starting money away. It's about, like, I know that was a problem. Like, I've started the Hattrick a few times, right? And just knowing the fact that I have to try to do an initial would say, like, effort in terms of patience and coming to terms with that. Oh, that sounds so dramatic, but acknowledging the fact that I just have to be patient in the beginning, because if I do this in the beginning, life will be so much easier down the line. I'm already, like, I only accumulated 23 million euros before starting in Denmark, and I might regret it. People say you should at least gather 50 million. You want to have fun. Now the thing is, I didn't have to spend on my main trainees initially, so I can kind of deduct the price, and I would say I saved perhaps 2 million euros from having, no, 1.5 even. I guess it depends on the type of player. It really does. But I mean, if your goal is, oh yeah, but I'm still standing by my, like, I guess it's also different, because maybe, like, when I started this time around, I knew from day one but I knew from day one that my goal is to win the Danish league. And I knew from day one that I would have to accumulate some money before I actually start out with my plan. Because I know that I won't. Exactly. And it's also about what's your goal, because you could also just build your team from the bottom and sort of being a wheeler dealer, right? You could be a wheeler dealer, and, like, for instance, if sort of like the way you would play Football Manager, right? You buy some players, you sell them, you promote. The problem is, if you want to go from the bottom of the division all the way to the top of your league, you'd have to be extremely good at it. Like a wheeler dealer, that would be like a guy who buys one car cheap, do a few easy fixes, kinda, and then he sells it on, gets another set of wheels, another car. Right? Skill trading, or trading your way to the top. Buying players cheap and selling them at a higher price when you don't need them anymore. The thing is, you'd have to be extremely good at the game. Better than I am, better at trading, because the one thing I know, being away from Hattrick for a few years, is I don't know the prices. I don't know the market well enough to skill trade. I'm not good enough to use that approach. I wish I was. Hell, if I was able to do it without spending 3 seasons. In your league, in Mexico, there's one guy who has been at the top flight for like 20 seasons. If that's the case, then he's either extremely good at trading, or your top flight is not that competitive compared to the most competitive leagues. We can check it out. Let's look at another tool. Hattrick.com, and we'll just land on the opening page and we'll find Mexico. He's a beast at trading. Okay. Okay, let's have a look-see. Mexico. Ever while loading. What? Boring. Okay, we'll just look at it like this. You can't beat me. Is that the guy? AC. Oh yeah, he's been. Okay, that's pretty crazy. What? Are you kidding me? 20 seasons. He's been in the top flight since. He's been there 40 seasons. Okay, let's just have a look at his ratings. Yeah, yeah, that's super impressive. Okay, 490 head stats. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm not. But I mean. Okay. 432. Wonder why it didn't work. Okay, could we see if it works in Denmark, for instance? Okay, Denmark works. Anyway, if we'll just try to find the league ratings. Okay, so the Danish Superliga is not even the best here. It's actually behind one of the second divisions. Oh, that's because the reigning champions are rebuilding, of course. No, I think they are actually except. But this is if it's Mavericks, yeah, and Ruby FC. Basically, Ruby FC and Copenhagen Mavericks are like among the top tier teams in Denmark right now, and they're not even in the top flight. I just wonder why we can't go to Mexico. What's wrong? I don't know. I know. Okay, let's just go back. Let's have a look at Norway. Norway is, from what I hear, is a very competitive league. League ratings. Look at this. 515 head stats. Typically game. 515. I think that's the average head stats of the teams in all the games so far. Let's compare it to Sweden. No, let's go Italy. See if that works. .506. It really annoys me that you have to. Romania. Okay, let's do that. That Romania should be quite high. .516. That's same level as Norway. Right? World overview. Let's do like this instead. You do league ratings. No. Okay, top. Did you find the top leagues? I don't know why. That's not in. Let's just go back to Denmark and see league ratings. Oh, that's quite low this season. I'm actually a little surprised to see that. Norway. Romania actually the top tier league. Seems so. Italy. We need to see Italy. And Spain. The biggest countries, right? Germany as well. I think Poland should be a strong shout as well. 506. Go Spain. 503. Okay, Germany. What league would you have thought would have been the most strongest? The Bundesliga is not Romania. Oh my. Let's see something about Papamish's team starting to pop off here because oh, isn't this earthquakes? They kicked out all the bot teams and kept the league very clean. But that's not something they can do. Like, that's not something Romania can do. That's just having a high ratio of active teams compared to the number of teams. That's only nice. I mean, that's yeah. He's going extremely hard at oh, there it is, Sherlock's. He's going extremely hard for the what do you call it? The main skill on his inner midfielders. He's going magical, like halfway through magical or something. I'm not doing that because there's no way that I'll be able to pay the wages because I didn't accumulate enough money to be able to do so. That's for sure. So, you know, we talked about it in my thread in the Cycle Federation, Serena. Yeah, it's crazy, but I mean, he's taken that into account, and he has actives in yeah, obviously he has thought about that. That's gonna be interesting for sure. I'm a little annoyed that I can't get to pick the Mexican league. Why is it failing? I'm aiming at somewhere above mythical for my inner midfielders. Perhaps training beyond. Oh, you could see the league rating. It's 466. So there's some ways to go still. You can't check the league for some reason, no. That sounds good enough to be competitive at the national level, I think, right? Yeah. I hope so. I mean, if definitely, yeah, competitive, sure. But I mean, if a guy like Mish comes along, yeah, exactly. Papa Mish is aiming for winning the Masters because that's what he missed out on with all of. I'm not saying it in any way to be like with his previous cycles, right? He missed out on the Masters trophy. I just want to win the Danish championship. Anyway, I need to be right back 1 sec, and I'll be back for more chatting very soon. All right, I'm back. Really need everything to go as close to perfect to achieve it, and then add a bit of luck on top of that to achieve it. Yeah, certainly, because you have. That's the thing with the single elimination format, right? You have to be skillful and lucky in 8 games, more or less, to win the Masters. And let's see, Serena. Yeah, obviously that's why we love Hattrick. Different people can have different goals and a plan to a different strategy to achieve it. Yeah, certainly. And respect for anyone who's capable of just trading their way to the top. I don't think it's less and less likely to happen, simply because people are getting more and more extreme in their cycle approaches. I can only say from my own perspective, nowadays, I know I have the patience, especially when I'm done with the defense. I'll show you guys for my Danish team. The training plan is as follows. And luckily, if you count the hours. Hello. Welcome in the chat. And a little carrot, I guess. Luckily, if you count the hours, so 24 hours from now, it's close to 20 weeks. Okay, I must admit, I'm a little fed up with defense training at the moment. 21 weeks left, and then we just pretend we don't see the 9 weeks in here down the line as well. But the thing is, I have baking arrangements. Yeah, who's not? I have the baking arrangements with my playmakers coming in after this defense stint. And we'll be starting with the playmaking. Oh, I mean, I think I commented on your first defense week. Good luck, man. But I mean, if you look at Rico, he's 28 weeks in now. He's had 28 training updates in defending now. So again, if we imagine that we've forgotten about this little itsy witsy of defense, we are doing quite well. What is going on? But yeah, it's getting a little rough. It's very boring, but also very necessary. But I mean, once it's something every good team must go through 100%. Definitely, you need some sort of defensive base, right? But I mean, once we are beyond these 21 weeks and we start the playmaking stint and we get the wingers in, that I have a league colleague, he agreed to train them for me. So I know they'll be Danish. And they'll be mythical winger. I'm just going for mythical main skill. I know it's... But I mean, generating side attacks with the winger ability and the fact that they'll be Danish. So I know I can save a little on the wages. I'm just... Really also a thing that you should consider if you are planning a cycle. While doing your profit training initially, you might as well start out finding some good friends in Hattrick, because it will be helpful. I've settled training arrangements for like the 3 not homegrown core players, but the remaining core players. I planned for 17 as the highest skill as well. Saves a lot of weeks and also a lot of dough in salary. True. And that's a good thing to remember, right? The thing is, you could go further. What I'm saying is, if you look at my players here at this point in the plan, when they're like 28 years old, I mean, I don't have anything planned here beyond. But if we have some crazy guy going beyond, like a higher playmaking main skill on his midfielders, I might just add some playmaking here. I could still go further. I would love a loan system, but I think it could create an unfair advantage for some teams. That would make it way too easy. I get what you're saying, and but it would make it way too easy, especially for like it's not like I'm a very big content creator in all this content, but imagine if you are yeah, that would make it way too powerful. Imagine if you're Uncle Mish, Papa Mish, sorry. I'm not saying it's unfair, because he's a massive figure, but he has such a great network, for instance, right? So he would definitely have an easier time compared to someone completely new in the game to have that network. And if you could just loan out your players, keep the homegrown bonus, it would make the game about having the best network. And while a network helps, but if you compare it to my situation, what I've done, I get 3 players on top of the 3 homegrown players here that are not homegrown. They lose the homegrown bonus. The only thing I get is, I hope that I can buy them back reliably at a decent price. Right? So nothing's certain in that regard. It could go wrong. But I still think using your network within the game in order to engineer such a little helpful. What about a loan transfer market? Obviously way easier for me to say than someone who has to program it. I think I think there's also the aspect of enabling cheating. I don't think I don't think it sounds like a good option. I know that the HTs, like Johan said, the same thing. And in this regard, I agree. Oh. There was some, yeah, in a stream or something, right? But I like it. They didn't sound all that. Yeah, but I mean, it's just. Yeah, but I mean, if the thing is. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sometimes you have to remember the fact that we are not playing. We're playing a financial management game and a war on numbers disguised as a football game. Yeah, it's fun to talk about, and definitely. There was some alternative paths, like having multiple training types instead of just one every week. Yeah. The thing about having the mono training system in Hattrick is that it also offers some good limitations. But I mean, they could basically make it a little like the youth training system. The thing is though, if you compare them, the youth training system is very, very slow. But I actually like the limitations. I like the training system like it is right now. I do agree that I've heard some people talking about the fact that players are actually useful a little too long. And perhaps if you would want to cut down on the amount of time people have to spend in order to, like say, taking Rico here from the cradle to the grave, which is what I plan to do, right? You could actually take away a few of the seasons in the end. Like shorten the lifespan of a competitive player just a little bit. Just to make cycles a little shorter. To make it more accessible for new guys. A friend of mine who used to play, he was actually annoyed by the fact that he couldn't continuously keep playing in the top flight division in Denmark. And we talked about it. He stopped playing now. He won a few cups in Denmark. And he was like, yeah, it was so annoying that I couldn't. It was a bad design system by Hattrick because I couldn't keep playing in the top division. And then I responded, we talked about it after I started again, and I said, well, if you could continuously keep playing in the first division, why should I start playing then? If I cannot reach, because if you could keep that position, then how am I supposed to go there as a new player? Right. So yeah, I think it will take like quite the argument to change this in any way. Surely. Anyway, if we have to think about the positives about defense training, right now I'm training 3 keepers in defense as a side skill, and it's a pretty reliable way to keep adding money to or not adding value to my team, and to store it away from the reserves. Bigger leagues, 8 teams seems on the low end. I really hope they never change the 8 league system. I think it's kind of cozy, and you have a chance to know everyone in your league. Like, I talk to everyone in my league, in both my Danish leagues. So, yeah. I'd say I have to disagree on bigger leagues. I like the 16-week league system with the 14 games this season. I think they could do something about how they are structured in the pyramid, perhaps. They've talked about narrowing, making it possible to promote more often. And I would be all for if they make a meaningful way to perhaps add a few more. It's hard, because how do you choose the ones who have to promote and demote due to this? If you want to stay and win Division 1, would it be a good investment for you to have only Danish players so you pay lower salaries? It's definitely a way to have a better chance at such a stunt. But honestly, I'm fairly certain that it would be close to impossible. Most Danish teams, they just burn the team completely. If we go to the Danish Superliga here, you'll see that Theodore United, the reigning champions, he won the league 2 years in a row, and now he's just rebuilding. He sold his entire team, and I think he's doing so in order to retain some of the assets. Excuse me. Oh, I'll need more water. So, and I think, like in general, nowadays the most leagues, the most top flight divisions are competitive to such an extent that it's not possible to stay up, and it shouldn't. Again, we're not trying to emulate the real world, so newcomers should have a reason and a chance to go to the top if they play well. Certainly. Getting some more water. Be right back. It's super hard to find those players that fit your cycle. Now imagine trying to get all of them for your country. Not impossible, but very, very, very hard. True, and that's why I've made arrangements with the wingers and for the PNF. In real life, if you win the league, you get prize money plus sponsors. You normally snowball. In Hattrick you win, but then you lose all the money. It doesn't really make sense. Oh, yeah. Well, it doesn't make sense if you look at it that way. But you have to remember that Hattrick is not about emulating real life. And it would be like that if players weren't building extreme teams, like building a cycle team, for instance, with homegrown players. It's an extreme, but imagine, like, you would just have to imagine, like, the very best teams in your country, they recruit players so expensive that they have to pay so much salary that they can only do it for 3 seasons, and then they'll have to sell them again, and then they will not win continuously. Even if you have to look at it from that perspective, it would be the clubs overextending in such a way that they wouldn't be able to sustain. That's what people are doing in Hattrick, and it's a good thing for the people wanting to be in the top. So yeah, you would imagine that, like, for instance, the Danish clubs started recruiting players like, I know they wouldn't be able to, but in Hattrick there's no limit or no image, right? Or no, what do you call it? Prestige or anything. So it would be like if the Danish top teams recruited Haaland and Mbappe, right? Hattrick is about journey and destination. For me, the journey has been so incredibly fun that even if I fail to achieve what I want, and I'd be happy to try again. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, what I like to say, even though I want to win, Hattrick is much more about what's going on between the updates, like who do you actually talk to, and what about the connections you make also, right? So, and a lot of the people that I've gone to Hattrick meetups with, they've played for more than 20 years. Hey, Florian. Welcome. Oh, I don't know, do you use Discord? You could, yeah, like Serena says, you could try to post it there and a wild Vito. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You could also just, like, if it's much of a hassle, you could also just try to post it. Oh, there we go. Another one appeared. It's booming inside the Discord server. Booming. I had no idea you had a Discord. I'm fairly certain that I haven't been talking it up that much, but if you look at no that much, but if yeah, that's me watching me. Wow, there's a link right there, guys. Anyway, and maybe I should mention it more often. I'm not that good at plugging my socials anywhere and mentioning it often enough because I think it's a little cringe. Youth pools. I'm what you call selectively blind. All right, let me just save that image. Yeah, he looks very good, this player. Let me just bring it up on. We'll just add it here. Image. Okay. Let's just boom, bam. All right. So if we look at his potentials here, right? If we imagine that he could be a wingback. He could be an inner midfielder as well. If you calculate him as an inner midfielder, calculating his relevant skills would be 5 + 6, 13. 11, sorry. 16. Relevant. He's a very good player. A very good player. Oh, and how long would it be worth it to train him in the senior team? 2, 3, 4 weeks? I'm just reading off the Discord. Okay, it's getting a little confusing here, but what are you training? All right, we'll just show another one. One of the ones flashed in the. Look at this fella. Look at the amount of training days left in the academy here. Hopefully you can reveal a specialty in this guy. Wow. What No. He's in the anniversary league. Oh no. Hey Johnny, welcome. Johnny asks, can you trust the HTMS in Hattrick Youth Club? And what's a good potential rating there? No, you can't trust it completely because the HTMS in Hattrick Youth Club takes the sub skills. Well, you can, but the thing is, once you promote the player, it'll be lower because the HTMS you see in the senior squad does not take sub skills into account, which CMS in the youth club does. If you look at a player like, we looked so much at him, so let's just pick up. Here we go. We'll look at Zanatti again. It would be higher, but every time a player pops, it increases, and then it slowly deteriorates because this one is also calculated on a daily basis. So you can trust it. But actually it's more accurate, but you'll see it decrease once you promote your player. Because it actually if you have a player with 2100 plus, yeah, you should expect it to drop a little until you train the player to see the HMS. It should come up once it pops, because the HMS calculation cannot take, for instance, for this guy, it wouldn't be able to take 6.5 into consideration. So it should go up once you add the missing sub skill for the next entire level. And you asked also what's a good potential rating. Like if above 2000 is a very good player, above 2100 is an excellent player, and 2200 or so is an absolutely outstanding player. Just like a quick way of expressing my views on the matter, right? Oh, I'm What's your favorite tool, guys? That's kind of the theme today, and we've been over a few very different tools. Do any of you guys use the portal tracker? Do you know what it is? It's a Hattrick portal. About training, I just realized one thing. For the wing, I need 8 players. Tracker above the cycle planner. Okay, let's just explore that. And is that regarding to the training? Let's just talk a little about this tool. Yeah, but initially, terrific. Just focus on getting the 4 players for the 100% slots, because those are your main concerns when it comes to income. Oh. Okay, this is an annoying track. What the? This is kind of strange. Oh, because of the stamina. Yeah. Training plan of the player. Okay, this is in Danish. I'm sorry. So I'll have to translate. So where did I find this? Music, that is. Yeah, it's obviously amazing for tracking national team players. So if we have a player here, how do I even... So svag, that means weak. Solid. Excellent. Okay. Okay, Raul, I could definitely say that doing like this, just to get the pointers for the HT cycle tool. That I like. But how do I set the what I'm training here? Oh, like this? Ah, okay. Oh. Okay, yeah. Okay, I get it. Let's just calculate with the passable winger. And we want mythical. I see. Go away. Okay, mythical from passable. So it would take 3 weeks. And stamina. Oh, and this is, of course... This seems extensive, though. Stamina goal. Oh, but he starts at pass. Oh, even. But these stamina levels, though, are crazy. You wouldn't ever do this. Don't follow this blindly. That's all I'm saying. Okay, could you say... Like, where do I say I want to reach the stamina goal at excellent? Sorry about the Danish denominations here. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you this much. I think using this in addition, because this says nothing about wages as well. I really like the HT cycle tool, I have to say, and I like the fact that it's more accurate than the Hattrick planner tool, because the planner tool always calculate the wages in relation to the skill level at that point in time. It doesn't take the birthdays into consideration, and then calculates the cost based on what the entire season would be with that wages. Other good stuff to know about the Hattrick portal is you can calculate healing time for your players as well. And then there's one thing, and sometimes this Hattrick portal is a little unreliable. It seems kind of slow and sluggish in the performance at times. Yeah. But certainly a nice tool. I'll just add that to my list about the nice tools for Hattrick, now that we have distinguished between the essential and the nice tools, that I've started to do so in my latest video. So I'll definitely add that one to the mix. Definitely so. Portal seems player-oriented, Cycle Planner is team-focused. Both are great. Yeah, I mean, the Cycle Planner is more about making a cycle for your team, for sure. And I really hope they would. I hope Session would add support for the stamina goals or training as well. It's getting better. He's it's like, it looks like he's working in a continuous flow and just improving things as comes along. What other tools are there to explore? Man, we've talked a lot about Hattrick today. Did anyone in chat lose some training or have had to do some adjustments? Hey, Google you seem very hungry. Did you get a nice dinner today, or? I have no idea what's going on here. Oh, the market trick. Yeah, I actually signed up for it, and I haven't had any notifications of the filters I've enabled. I'll add it to my notes, but I'm not, because you have to. I haven't covered in a video market trick. But I know about it, and I have a user. I haven't used it extensively because obviously I'm not at the point where I need to find those very specific players yet, because I'm patient about trying to be patient about the fact that I have to earn as much money while training my defense players. I think it's going all right. Just hoping that I don't have to overpay and get into a financial scrap over the baked players. I'm doing a wing into mid. No, oh, I mean, you're doing a wing towards the wingers and inner midfielders towards the wing. Homegrown. Oh, nice. That's also a very potent way of building your cycle team, simply because you can generate amazing side attacks quite easily. So you're getting 4 homegrown core players for that cycle. That's also one of the things I considered, simply because having an additional from my 3 homegrown core players to just having 1 more. Five homegrowns. Well, okay. Also, you're playing 3 inner midfielders. But how do you go about spending 4 100% slots for the wing training then? Sounds like you had to do some sort of compromise. Doable, but not optimal. Yeah, I'm kind of like the homegrown core players. They just need to be 100% optimally trained. I couldn't have them trained just like 1%. Yeah. Just knowing the fact. Could always rotate them. But that's not 100%. How can you play not 100%? Yeah, I get it. I get it. Right, so you're going ahead with a, okay, you're going with an age gap. That's, now I get it. Now I get what you're saying. Wingers will be older. Yeah. It'll be a little problematic once you have to compete, because they'll need a higher stamina share. But Vista won the Masters with this strat. Let me just find the history then. We'll take a look at it. Vista. Is that a team name or the manager name? '78. All right. What? Okay, well, kind of okay, respectable price shelf, I'd have to say. But yeah, he's done okay. I mean, a Masters trophy here. Definitely. What kind of he may know what he's doing. I'm thinking he has a slight idea of what he's doing. Oh yeah, he said the 3 years age gap wasn't a problem. Now, obviously it wasn't because he won, but if you look at it, you will be. I get what you're saying, but all I'm saying about his team could have been better if he had, theoretically speaking, because I don't know about his economy or anything like that, but theoretically his team could have been stronger simply because he had that age gap. He won, and impressive, and you cannot argue with this price shelf. I mean, he knows what he's doing. All I'm saying is, if he's had a 3 years age gap between his wingers and his inner midfielders, he could have been stronger in regards to optimal stamina values in his team. There's no doubt about it. But obviously, you can win with such a gap. Well, it certainly shows that your team doesn't have to be perfect. Certainly, I mean, having 2 additional homegrowns compared to the 3 I have in my squad is an edge. Certainly. I mean, you're completely right. I'm just not entirely... Oh yeah, of course, you need to be lucky. I mean, I'll be honest, I think I've had all the luck I need for this cycle. And if I show you all my luck, you'll probably dislike me. Because this is for my Danish team. Sorry. I pulled this guy, 7 million euros at the age of 17, was adjusted from 10. And let's just look at the transfer history and say, okay, then we have this guy, 1.4 million euros. And 500,000 euros, also a 17-year-old. 2 million euros, this guy. That's the guys I've sold, right? And again, I feel like I'm just flashing these guys all of a sudden. Obviously, Rico, the best one. It's been a few weeks since he popped in defending, so his potential is starting to get low. His potential HTMS is getting a little low right now, I have to say. Because on Friday it'll be 5 weeks since he popped, and he's training with an excellent coach, so he's losing like 11 HTMS per day or so. But then I also got this guy with a header. You stole all the art. I told you I couldn't tell you guys about these guys, because I also have this guy, and he's also getting a little low. Definitely this guy is the main man, and he's like almost 19 now, so he's 40 days ahead. So honestly, I should just sell them and start over, because I have a 40-day gap between my... Actually, I have a 60-day gap. Is that too much? What I'm saying is, I shouldn't... Yeah, almost 2300 HTMS. Nice. I'm not sure, like, I guess I'll have to do with Rico. I'll show you the most talented guy in the youth team right now in Denmark, because that's where you have to accumulate it. It's not perfect. Definitely sell and start over. This is the most talent. We'll look at him here. Right now, Adrian Sebstrup. The thing is, he's solid playmaking, passable passing, inadequate scoring, and he's in good shape in order to make it. He doesn't have a specialty though, so I think I'll just fire him because he's awful. He's a shitty player, right? Nah, I mean, he'll definitely add a little, but yeah, it's a it is a little sad that he doesn't have a specialty if you look at it that way. But you got a guide on the. It's definitely lucky. Definitely lucky. You want to see my San Marinese team players as well. But the thing is, only pull 17-year-olds. Sorry, 15 years old, right? And you probably have seen my San Marinese guys. Would you start in San Marino? I had to. In San Marino, my homegrown core players, I have 2 without specialty. And that's because Zanotti has a chance to go to the under-21s. He will pop soon and get more HMS. Yeah, let's take a look at the triple one. I've talked to the scouts about this guy already. He's under-21s prospect already. Mozzarella is quite good as well. Solid scoring, passable winger, unpredictable. He's almost done in scoring, and then it's just, let's go, Melati. Yeah, I think so. I think so because I can train passing while training playmaking and winger and defending. Yeah, I'm fairly certain. Fairly certain. It shouldn't be a problem. And but like simply because I did start the cycle, they will definitely be sold and just add to the money. But good players as well. Now we are at it. Let me just show you my final load. Both of them specialty, yeah. This is the best player in my... Just started my second team in Guyana, the new country. This is the best player I have in this team. A little sad about the playmaking skill here, but weird one. Yeah, it's a... I mean, honestly... Have you thought about a homegrown longshot team? No. No, I haven't. Let's try to load Andre in here. So 17, but okay, let's just say 6, 2, 4, 4, 7. We don't know about set pieces. If just say we treat him as an inner midfielder, let's just say if we added four seasons solid. This is just for testing purposes, right? Oh, we have to actually select it. Right, so if we add 4 seasons, he would be halfway through world class. No, this is only 3 seasons. This is 4. Like you'd be Titanic, right? Five seasons. Yeah. 6 seasons of training. I mean, if we just see after season, okay, it's a little on the low end, right? He would be excellent. Yeah, I don't know. I hope he's not the best player. He's not the best you, but he's the best one I got, right? And sometimes you gotta, yeah, you save the weeks in scoring, and it's true. I mean, he could be a fine inner midfielder. I think, yeah, the people getting over the fact that I'm actively doing cycles with this team, Calvehave in Denmark, and Inter Calvehave in San Marino, simply because of the prospects coming through. And then I'm just training for profit here, thinking about starting a national team farm or something. I'm not entirely sure. I gotta be honest. I could also cash in some money and try to see if we could trade our way to the top. And then do another Let's Play series. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's certainly like cashing in and trying to do some trading, like a wheeler-dealer approach with the team. The name doesn't make any sense if we do that, but it would be tough. I would really have to pay attention. I mean, you could try it. It would be a learning process. The thing is, if we go back to the plan here for the Danish team, once, yeah, but I'd have to say, if I spend a lot of time trading, perhaps I'm spending the time on Hattrick anyway. Now I'm actually just trading. It's kind of stressful to tune this one. Oh, it's done. Now, what I'm trying to say here, that I have a striker training now, soon. Once we get to this point, I'm spending all of the main slots in training most of the time, so I only have the 50% slots to make skill traits with. And what I'm thinking is, perhaps skill trading some playmaking on this team would, I mean, just to practice and get some experience doing so. Exactly. And I'll, like, I mean, just for the sense of getting a good idea of how to go about making, I'm not saying the best possible, but making good, let's just say solid skill traits with this team. Not this team, with the one actually in cycle. It could be nice to just try to learn. So, like, there's definitely like you could experiment some with this team, right? Worst case is you just don't earn that much money, but I still don't have a real plan for this team right now. And then you can be on the absolute edge here when we get to this part, when we have to start executing some good deals. That would be really informative if you can show us how to trade the way to the top. Yeah. I think the main component is It could. Yeah, I just have to learn it first. That's my problem, right? No. Okay, I guess I'm selling all my wingers now. Let's just look at the training estimation, see, because yeah, I mean, soon. It would definitely be nice. I mean, it serves as training for myself in order to execute nicely on 2 cycles. Because I have to find, well, maybe not 4 players a week, right? But let's just say on average 2 players each week, because some of the players probably won't pop the first time because I'm not good enough at estimating players needing just 50% of a training, or if lucky in engineering extra time, 75%, right? So let's just say on average, and I'm just guessing, pulling it out of the thin air, that you would have to find perhaps 2 players each week. True. But the thing is, if you go for more expensive players, you just end up losing it in salaries. So it might be a good idea not to go deep, I guess. I think it might be a good idea to experiment a little with the team just trying to make money anyways. I feel I have a good few options and ideas how to excuse me, how to continuously make money while training defense right now, because it's all 100. Because it's all 100% spots right now. Oh yeah, and I have a league colleague that I study a little as well, because he's also trading in that ballpark, in that area, those skill levels. So it's not like I'm starting completely from scratch. I have an idea of some search filters I could try. I just need to formalize it all in some way and like think about how to make that into content. But thinking of that, it could be that it could be an idea to actually explore some of these things. Like I could just start out exploring it directly on stream, and then you have some highlights and some things to refer to and use in the video. Lauren asks, I'm currently raising money for my cycle. I have about 17 million euros. When should I start using gold bar players? I guess right after having 15 million. That really depends. It really depends on what kind of cycle you're doing. And forget me if I forgot, but did you say so already? What gold bar players are worth it? Only goalkeepers? No. when you are in a situation where when you're not starting to be competitive in any way, or you're just raising money for your cycle, what cycle do you plan to start out once you've accumulated money? The thing is, if you're doing inner midfielders towards wing, okay, so if you're doing wing / inner midfielders towards wing, if you're doing it like that, you should start buying gold bar players early. The reason for that is you have your wingers. The other way around, if you have to find half-baked wingers for an inner midfield cycle, you have to be ready to pay, depending if you want mythical or magical wingers. If you want mythical, around 10 million euros per winger. A magical 12. Or if you pop a mish, perhaps over 20. I'm crossing my fingers that doesn't happen to the half-baked players I have. Yeah, if mythical, if you're a little unlucky, 10 million euros. But the thing is, if you have those wingers, you save those. So in that case, if you go for the winger / inner midfielder, you should buy gold bar players as soon as possible, really. If you're not close to playing competitively, I would suggest buying goalkeepers and training them in defense while you can, while you train defense in your cycle. You may not be making the most profit on the training alone, but the retainable value, simply because it's on a keeper. How do people unlock so much money for wingers? Well, you answered it yourself. You have a few goalkeepers that you sell, and then like, yeah, but you can also have above 50 million euros for a while until they start going back to the reserves. But if you spend the money quickly, it won't be a problem. Perhaps you'll have, I don't know, like 1 million euros moved over, but those would trickle back into your economy slowly. You wouldn't even need a financial advisor, really, if you just make sure that you can sell those players. Like, I could show you right now, it doesn't have to be any secret whatsoever, and if you paid a lot of attention, you could also just look at my estimated values. So right now I've, in my available cash is around, oh, it's the 8.8 million euros, right? And if I go to my player page, you'd see it's 30 million euros here. How long does it... I'll just find the manual, it's quicker here. If you look at the staff, and we look at the financial director. So let's say you have 25 million euros. So each week you would have 2% moved of the total cash into the reserves. So 2% would be what? 5 million? Yeah. If you spend a whole week, it would be like just under 5 million. So if you spent, but in that case, you'd have to spend more than 2 weeks at buying the 2 wingers, right? The first week at 25 million, it would be 500k. Oh, it would be also the second week, of course, because it's still the total cash. You're right. It would just be €1 million. But that's only if you spent more than 2 weeks finding those wingers. Yeah, it's... I'll just... Oh, you can see it on the... I was about to copy it into the chat, but yeah, I'm streaming my... I'm streaming. Yeah, if you see this bit in that I marked. So a week or 2 doesn't really make much of a difference. You shouldn't panic. You shouldn't hire a financial director. No, that's the other way around. That's what you can... If money is in your reserve and it's the other way around, that's the max. But if you have like an extreme amount, they will just move 2% the other way. That's why you max out at 8 million euros per season. And when you look at the richest teams, supporter statistics, let's just go teams wealthiest. So this is close to 600 million euros, this guy. Yeah. All that money is just rotting because 80 million. Miguel Colhara, good night everyone. I am just starting on Hattrick. I just updated my stadium once and went straight to 100%, and now I updated it again. Now I'm a bit low on money. Did I make a mistake? Not necessarily. Did you start a good training setup? Did you buy trainees? I mean, if you did so, you're on track. And having a good stadium is always a good thing. What's your team called? And welcome, by the way. Welcome. Hope you're having a good evening. Well, I had a student exchange with a school from Kalundborg when I was in high school. That's fun. Let's take a look at your team. Did you just start? You say Casta City, Portugal. Transfer history. All right, I'm hoping to see young players here. 10,000. That's 1,000 euros. 17 years. He's quick. Nice. A winger? He's a winger. it's punishing to like 1/7. Okay, he's also a winger. A little low on the TSI. But the other guy is looking good. Let's see the stadium. Nah, you did fine. It's all right. Your team is currently playing Borussia Dortmund. Is that a Portuguese way of saying Dortmund? Dortmund. Let's see, what else did you do? Cast level 3. Alright, so Miguel, you didn't make a mistake. It's a good start to add some VIP seats, because I said that earlier in the stream as well. When you don't have any VIP seats, the fans that go to that area of the stadium I guess it's a good time to talk about the stadium size calculator. Yeah, I'll show you this link. NRG, I like this one. And like next time, for now you wait. You made an excellent choice of adding some VIP seats. And let's just say you have 627 members and you'll gain a lot of fans the first season. So let's just see, at some point you'll be at like 950. Oh yeah, okay, you're on top of it. Yeah, and the hard thing about this tool, it's not really hard, is knowing, should I say that at 8 or 9, if you are looking at this at the beginning of the season, put it at least 1 point lower than what you expect anyway. Simply because you get less fans in the start of the season. And then you confirm and you see, you shouldn't add. Right, but you've done perfectly. What you should focus on now, I'm guessing you're training wingers. The oversize, that means that if you know that you are if you know that you're training, sorry, I'm just reading the chat while I'm talking, and then I'm saying what I'm reading out aloud. That's not a good way to explain this. So the oversize is just if you know you have some money already that you need to invest anyway, you can just crank up the size because you already invest the money in the stadium. And yeah, if you want to expand your stadium before, like if you, for instance, if you've gathered a lot of money for a cycle and you want to free up money in your reserves, for instance, dumping all the money into the stadium at first, it's a good way to freeing up money in your, that can trickle over. So you get them back from the reserves, because it's also about having that transfer actually being active, right? So it's a good idea to just, and this is only if you have a lot of money, but it's a good idea to just get it out of the way so you can start the movement of money from the cash reserve. Not really an option for people just starting out. So yeah, find the most important thing. I was actually saying something about that. I'll show you the filter I was showing, the search filter. Who did we have in chat talking about winger training? It was yeah, it's just an option to like, okay, we're just building. Sorry, if you're looking for winger trainees, the most important thing, right? Be patient. Don't panic if you don't find anyone really good. What I like to do as a search profile here, 17 years, 19 days. It's just to get options that are not necessarily 17 years and 3 days, right? Passable winger, level 6, quick, unpredictable, or a hitter. At least 950 TSI, and then I click search. We get 21 hits now. My currency is euro times 10, so this guy would be 22.5. Good question from Florin here. Would it be an option to search for an adequate winger to get much better secondary skills instead of passable winger? Yeah, that's definite. Like if all the options you see here would be like 2.5 million kroner or 250,000. If you only get such results, or like, for instance, the players seem quite expensive, you could certainly do like, you put winger to inadequate, as Florence said here, keep the TSI, because TSI is also like an easy way of just adjusting all the secondary skills automatically, because if you fight, perhaps you have to go a little lower with the main skill. Let's try 900. No, surprising. Would we have to go to 850? But definitely also an option. Wow. 700. Oh, wait a second. I think we have to set this at excellent then. And let's just say 900. So max level for non-specified skills. I think it's because it automatically goes to inadequate if I set the main skill here. Okay. See, this could be an option as well, right? 9,000 euro. Inadequate winger, but he's passable playmaking and passable scoring. So good advice from Florin. Cannot say that it's mine. This guy would also be a good option, simply because you could definitely mold this guy into a wingback, right? You could also see here, that's the solid defending coming in. Anyway, Miguel, this is what I would look for. Also, a decent wingback in the making here. Maybe a little sad to not use the scoring, but the richest playmaking. He could also become a winger, certainly. Again, solid playmaking. Okay, he's got quite a good asking price already. But that's definitely what I would ask you to do. Find four wingers with an HMS potential around 2,000 if you can. Could be a little lower, don't worry about it. Find 4 very good wingers like this to keep in the wing slots, and once you get to earn a little more money, find the players for the back slot that gets 50% training. But before you do that, 4 decent wingers and get a solid coach, and just stick to some wing training. That's my recommendation for basically everyone new to this game. I've said it a lot of times, and yeah, I've even made a video about it. If you don't know the market well enough to do solid skill trading yet, I would definitely recommend this. Simply because there's so little people training those very expensive young wingers. Again, let's just clear this. Let's look at them again. Wingers between mythical and magical. 20, 21 years. Just lower this a little. If you have the patience to train them for like 3.5 seasons. Look at this strength for compare. Doing just mono skilled training, you don't have to worry about swapping training forms or anything. You just make sure you have 4 guys playing in the wing. You'll be earning so much money without overthinking and overspending time. It's just a patience test. And that's also worth taking into consideration. Not only patience, but once you start reaching Titanic and above, you will also just be wasting more money. Yeah, I totally get that. I stopped at I'm really not satisfied about my supernatural. I stopped at simply because the talents I had coming in. I would really have liked to go at least for Titanic or extraterrestrial, but I'm in it. I'm in the thick of it now, and I'll have to do well in order to raise enough money because I started early. 19-year-olds, 15 Titanic. I hope to sell them for 6 million each. I have a few players starting to look like that as well. Olaf Lauritsen, 19 and 10 days supernatural. Let's just see his player training estimation. It will be in 5 weeks, so 19 years and 40 days. Okay, let's go back to him. Transfer compare. He's quick. Edit. Yeah. Adjust it to Titanic. Same specialty. 6 million. Yeah. Yeah. That looks a little low. Tashi. Yeah, it could be you have a slightly better secondary. Yeah. How do you decide when to train mono-skilled wingers? I stopped at 15 because the guide said so as wages get high. Nah, I mean, that's around the balancing point. I would say stopping at 15 is more like if you're starting to feel it's getting hard with the patience, really. I cannot choose the same specialty, but they seem a little low. But okay, these guys I picked up, I don't know, maybe it's because I think they have all right All right, potential. What if we just look at the... Let's just look at it from this perspective. Because right now he's almost 100,000, 10,000 euros a week. Extraterrestrial. Let's just set it at 20 and extraterrestrial. For some reason, it seems kind of low for these guys. I don't know if the market is a little slow at the moment. There's not a lot of... Can I check your two guys, see if you can get 6 million? I mean, it's hard to say. The thing is, though, if you do like this, 21 mythical, and now you'll see things starting to pop. I'm a little worried about this, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, wait a second, he has to be 20 mythical, right? 20 mythical. Now you see things popping, right? 20 mythical. That's the sweet spot. And let's just go over to this tool. Let's say mythical. You just have to reach mythical like this. And I want to check the wages when he's just had his birthday. This is where I dislike this tool, right? Because, see, okay, his wages would be 250,000, even though he goes beyond. So you have to take that into consideration. So you'll have to deduct 10,000 euros each week from the weekly profit from doing so. I think this is where he hits mythical. Okay, so 10,000, how many weeks? 15, 12 weeks? No, it's not. 8 weeks. You'll have to deduct like 1 million from his transfer fee because of the increased wages. I'd say mythical. 20 years old mythical. That's when you earn the most. But let's do a final transfer compare here and set it to 21 magical. Same specialty. Yeah, it isn't always possible to find these players. And also because, like, 17-year-old mythical, that's what most people want when they are looking for a... Yeah, magical doesn't make it a lot better. Yeah, that's... Man, I can't wait to get my 21-year-old, no, my 20-year-old mythical wingers in. I'm actually a little shocked to see. Okay, he could have a little better side skills. True. But in that context, I'm just happy about. In that context, I'm happy about the decision I've made to sell my winger trainees and try to skill trade my way to the top. I was in a little of a rush because I just wanted to get it settled all the way. Talking about this makes me like raring to go. Let's go. And then you get back into the training plan and sorry, Chief, but we have 21 weeks to go of the grueling defensive training. Tough luck, Chief. You have to wait. You have to be patient. It actually makes me wanna kind of want to get rid of them and get started. I wouldn't mind a quicker version of Hattrick. How so? Like more updates or? I think Hattrick, like the way it works now. I mean, I guess they could make like an alternative server, something, training every day. I think that's would probably be way too fast for the average player. Or to get rid of these guys now, start practicing. 16 days is a season. I think you'll have fun for. I think it would be fun for like a week. It's not a week, sorry, like a half a year or so, and then. Yeah, and then it would burn out quick. I think it would be all of a sudden you would just be overwhelmed, and you wouldn't be able to log in for a few days, and then you would feel that it was spoiled. Perhaps, I don't know. I think it sounds fun, but I think I would burn out a little quite fast as well as Raul says. Should I just get rid of these guys after training? What do you guys think? Amson, hello. No worries, no worries. I can definitely tell this is not the last time we are sitting here. Because I want to want to practice trading. And because it would be killing two birds with one stone, because I need to know the lay of the land before I have to do so with my Danish team as well. So I might as well. I mean, Fabrikken Syd here, this team, their only goal is really making money right now, because I need to find out what to do. Yeah. All right, and then we'll start the trading journey. Okay, let's just pay attention. We don't really have anyone. Okay. We'll give them one more training update, and then we'll see what we got. And then I guess I'll schedule another stream, and I'll schedule a stream where we start looking at what we can do, and then we will condense what we learn in the stream into actual Hattrick resource videos. It sounds fun. Sounds fun. It sounds like a good project. I do, however, feel my voice starting to give in a little on me. I definitely feel that I was ill last week, and yeah, and it's almost been, what, 3.5 hours? Wow, time flies. I think it's about time I say good night, and we got to talk about a lot of different stuff tonight. We got to talk about a lot of different tools. I added a few interesting ones to the list, and to the list about not just the essential tools, but also the nice tools. Found a new project for this is basically like the Factory South football club. The Factory has a purpose now. We will delve into the trading side of things. I'm sorry, Hamson, that I'm ending the stream right as you come into the chat. I feel a little bad about that, but we've been live for 3.5 hours here. Yeah, I kind of need to rest my voice, and I have work in the morning. So yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for being part of the chat. Thank you for all your inputs. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon. We'll be streaming. We'll be streaming about this whole trading journey, and of course we will also just get to hang out and talk about Hattrick. Thanks for the live, learned a lot. I'm happy to hear that. Good night, great stream, had fun. Glad to hear so, Raul. Pet Flush G, thanks for the stream. Oh guys, if you, I know I hate this part of doing content. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so, because it actually helps. It actually helps in the way that once the channel gets a little bigger, I actually get additional tools to help improve all the things. So like, subscribe, and comment, just like Ben's fact file says. But yeah, I'm not comfortable sitting here and asking people to do so. Maybe I should just get over the fact of that. Anyway, thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon. Did your music stop again? No. I'll see you guys soon also for some more video content. I'll be streaming soon again. It was fun. And yeah, take care. Have a great Thursday. It's kind of soon. Arrivederci.